Hello, welcome YouTube. This is CodingWithGlen, and now we're on our module 2 and we're going to start off with operators. So we're just going to click here and create a whole new Python file. I'm going to name this app again. Let's just name these operators, and we're going to press enter there, and as you can see, we are now in our file is opened. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put a comment here. So comments in Python, you just put a hash there, then you type in whatever you want to type as a comment so that you can reference your code later on. So we're gonna type here arithmetic, sorry about that. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do the arithmetics here, use the arithmetic operators in example. So per adventure, we have a variable a, and we're gonna assign to it the value 12, and with variable b we're gonna assign to it a variable data, and we're gonna have another variable that is c, but this one is mainly focused on holding the value of the addition there. So we're gonna do a plus b, and now that is the arithmetic we're doing there. But if you're not here, we are doing both arithmetic and assignment here. Let's just type in assignment here, because what we're doing here, the equals, that is actually the assignment we're doing. We're assigning 12 to the variable I, and we're assigning 13 to the variable b, and then the lateral extent we do the calculation here, c equals to a plus b, and this should print the answer for that, the 25. So let's print the result of C, and you're just gonna click on the run here, run operators, and as you can see, we got the answer 25. So to make our life easy so that we can run this thing continuously, we're just gonna put this data main here equals to, like we did in the last tutorial, so that we can run through the main. We're just going to do a pass here because we're not running any function within there dependent on this application to be specific. So now you've seen the addition. We can also do the subtraction. Let's put that one on a d equals to a, let's just say b minus a, and then we do a print here. We print our d. Let's just do everything else. So if is equals to let's just say b over 2. We're going to divide b over 2, and then we print our e, and then we're going to do again the f here equals to b percentage, sorry about that, percentage 2, and when we print our if. So what is going to happen here, let's see the results and then we explain. So we're gonna just run here our operators. I'll change to here so that we can read from our files. So now for us to see the output here, as you can see, we're having 25, 1, 6.5, and now that is showing the conditions of division, addition, and of course the modulus. So as you can see, the modulus right now it's returning the remainder of the division. So it's like you take a b that is 13 divided by 2, it's gonna result in 6 remainder 1, so it's gonna output us this remainder. So that is what is happening here. As you can see, the implementation is quite easy. So let's quickly look on to the next thing, that is our relational operators. And now relational operators, though, those are the comparison operators, like we said. So we're gonna do like a greater than or equal to, greater than. So let's put that in an if statement like we did in the last tutorial. So if a, the values already have the method of, if a is greater than b, then print statement a is greater than b. And then we're gonna do another if statement here. If a is less than b, then what wanna print? Wanna print a is less than b. So let's check out how this is happening, and we're just gonna click on run here. So here it says a is less than b, so it come through here and we check, is a greater than b? No, so it leads to the next condition. So that's what happens, and it continues and continues after this meets the specified need of it. So let's do something different. Let's say we have a variable, let's say g equals to 100 here, and then we have What we have again. All right, let's just use the b we have. So if we say if, let's just use a while here, while b is greater than g, then what you want to do, print infinite. Sorry about that. Infinite. No, I just added more i's there. Infinite. Let's see what happens when we do that. Nothing has happened because of what? The condition is already false when we started. So what we might need to do is g here, and then we put our b here. So you're gonna see that it's gonna be an infinite loop, continuously printing and printing and printing and printing. So you gotta be careful of how you use these operators while dealing with them. So we're just gonna stop this because the condition never becomes false because g is already 100 and you are not incrementing in how this be. So you're gonna be careful of how you use this. So we can also use the greater than or equal to, but we'll use it in the latter stage when we're dealing with the for each statement. And then for now I think we are just gonna go through to the logical operators. And what you're gonna be dealing with the logical operators, these are gonna dealing with true false values. So we're gonna be dealing with boolean here. So we're gonna say is active equals to false. Now Python uses caps here, so false here, and is let's just say is not active equals to true here. So we're gonna do a logical operator thing here. So we're gonna say if is active and is not active. We're just gonna print, not return something. Print false, because it's gonna be a false value that is gonna come through there. Let's run this and see what happens. And you see what happens. False did not print. And why did false not print? That is definitely because we are dealing with the true and false values here. The value of is active is false, and the value of is not active is true. So that means the resultant is going to be false, and we are not going to be even able to print this statement. So in order to print this statement, let's just turn it into a true here. And then what we need to change is we need to change this to this one, actually the false to a true, so that we can see how this will come out. So we say false and false, true and true is true. Of course, now that is becoming more true. So we're gonna have another implementation. Let's just use one implementation like this one, and we're gonna say false here. And what you're gonna be doing, we're gonna change these values to false and change this one to false again. And when we say if it's active and it's not active, print false. Well, let's actually print false. I don't think so. It is not going to print false, of course, because the condition is going to be false, and therefore it's not going to be even able to enter into this. So let's just run this, and you see there is nothing here unless we do something like an else, and then we say now we put a print statement here like false here, and just put true here so that we see that. So it's gonna print us false here because the resultant of these two is a false value. So we're gonna be dealing with type. So it's either you have a true value and a false value using and it will result in a false. False and false results in a false. True and true, that's what results in a true value. So you're gonna be careful how you use it. So we're gonna look again at the OR here. So what is gonna happen here is active or is not active, you know, that deals with the true one and either of the values have to be true in order for it to result in true. What's going to be the statement here? Again, here we're going to receive a false because false and false is false. But let's see if we put a true here. What happens is after we put a true here, it's going to bring us a true here. And why is that? Because we have a true value on one end and a false value on one end, so it will take the true value. So that's how you will deal with these logical operators. And finally, there is this one we need to take care of. let's say, or let's use the is not active here. We're gonna be using the last operator here, that is the not operator that reverses the value of a variable. So if not is active, what do you think is going to print? Of course it's going to print 2 because we are reversing the value. So if it comes here in this function and say not is not active, it's going to turn this into a 2, so it reverses the value. So let's suppose here we had a 2, that's not going to print. Let's just put an else here so that we can see the difference here of what is going to happen. We're going to say print here, and we're going to put in a false. Don't mind my caps. So when we run this, we're gonna see a false here. That is because it's not active. It is true here, but it has been reversed in its value, and now it's printing false because the value has been reversed to false. That's more like the logical operators. And I know for surety we haven't looked at the membership operators, but I'm gonna just state them here, but to look them more in detail when we're dealing with the for. But just an example, when we used in the last tutorial for, that's when we used our membership. We're just checking if some value exists in a sequence of characters. So let's see for as in Python print s. So what it's saying is find s in Python, find variable s in Python and print it out. So what happens when we say print here, it's gonna loop through the values in Python and then print them here. So it's like getting into Python sequence of characters here. That is a string, but it's a sequence of characters, and then print them one by one. That's how you use this in fact. But for the latter features, we're gonna be going in detail and seeing how we can use this to manipulate the values in maybe a sequence of characters in a list or something. And we're gonna be using something like, also there is this not in, but we're gonna not use it here. As you can see, it's giving us an error, but we will use it. We are just trying to check here if a value is already inside this Python, so we're gonna look at that. I'm gonna leave it here for now. Please bear with me. We're gonna use it in the latter tutorials where we're gonna be building it out, but please hold on with me. So we're just gonna be dealing with the in for now. And then finally there was the logical ones, the logical operators. They're gonna do some checking here that if the two variables point to the same instance. So these again, we'll look at them in the latter tutorial. Please again bear with me, but just for you to know the keywords is we have the is and is not. These are just checking the references of variables. So what we're going to be doing here, let's just put these on a comment here and put again is note here, and we will take care of this, I promise you. They're going to be more explanatory when we actually use them in the latter tutorials where we're dealing with functions and more classes in detail. But for you, let's just say name equals Glen here, and so we put a synonym. Yeah, let's just say synonym. Let's just say synonym Glen again. So if we say if name is synonym print, let's just say they are the same. So let's see what happens here. They are the same. As you can see the output here. So what it's doing is actually checking the object references of these functions. So that's how you can implement this. But again, I said we're gonna talk in detail. So primarily, maybe if you want to do is not, you are gonna put the is not somewhere here, and then you'll be able to run the thing. So we will not see they are the same, because we are trying to say this object is not this object. So it will actually print nothing there because it is false. So as you can see now, we are using this not operator, which is equivalent to our logical operator up here. So as you can note, we are dealing with the combination of these two implementation in order for us to gain the results we want. So please see you in the next tutorial as we take you further and build everything in congruence. And please remember to subscribe, and thank you YouTube for watching this, and I love you and I thank you for following my channel. Thank you and see you in the next tutorial.